Hello and thank you for joining us today at Distracted by Life. Our podcast is all about making change within yourself and your relationships. We share conversations, stories, and explore ideas coming from our lifelong journey of the high points and especially the low points where we learn to face our fears or cope with pain, loss, and failure. We do this in a discovery quest to establish patterns around our past and understanding whether we are tripping up from our past or being held hostage by it. We work on identifying ways to move forward, aligning our core values, and unlocking the keys to self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-compassion, and letting go of what is not serving you positively in life. A better you is always there, ready to explore in a new world. So let's begin. In today's podcast, we'll be discussing and exploring what success model did we inherit from our childhood, society's norm, views of success, and finally, how we as authentic, real individuals define success in our lives. Joining us today is Amal, as she shares her journey and the myth regarding her own inherent model of success and placed expectations of how success is viewed within her culture and norms of her upbringing. Hi, Amal, and welcome.
Hi, Dan. Glad to be here with you. Let's get started. I actually want to flip the table here a little bit and ask you that question.
All right.
What model of success did you inherit from your parents or society? Or both?
Okay. Good question. I guess it all started out pretty simple and easy to follow. You work hard, know your lane, stay in it, never question authority. In effect, don't rock the boat or you'll fail. Success, I guess, when I think about it back then, was to find a job and stick to it regardless. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So when I look back, it wasn't exactly the best model to follow in my estimation. Okay, that said, I'd like to turn this table back because it's better when it's on your side. And let's ask you about your own model of success.
So mine was basically you get a university degree, and it must be one of the following: a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, a business owner, or a teacher. Also, there was a trend that you find a job, you stay in it, preferably till retirement, because that was viewed as being loyal to the company, which at the time was much valued than anything else. And having a degree, being a university graduate of some sort of a respected profession was a huge thing. Like, even when you were to look for relationship and let's say you're gonna think of settling down, you won't have opportunities to settle down, whether vice versa, whether with a guy or vice versa for with a woman, if you don't come from a well-respected family that has their place in society and also have a degree of some sort. If they were both individual were doctors, that was like a huge bonus. They were a huge kind of conceitedness and show off and a trend that, let's say, the couples are two doctors, two lawyers, two engineers, or both business owner or whatever. Teacher wasn't so much because it didn't necessarily been associated with making a lot of money at the time, but it was a well-respected profession anyway. So it was basically that, or so that was the trend. That was the inherent model.
So how did this affect you growing up?
Oh, one more thing I should actually add is that also was the trend is that you getting married. So you get a degree, it has to be a good degree, and you get married. And obviously you get a job and you stay in it. Marriage was somehow viewed as a big success in finding a person you settle with and getting married. How did that affect me growing up was it felt like I can never measure up, and it placed a pressure on me in a way that resulted in a self-fulfilling prophecy that I could not attain that success, that the success that others placed on me. And I was constantly being compared to others who are doing so well and much better than I was.
Wait, okay, the expectation of success that others was placing on you. Okay.
Yes. This also impacted the way I viewed challenges growing up, and had contributed to feeding my fears and doubt, and the level of my fears and doubts and the level of strength within me.
Okay. So what do you view as success now then? And what's your quote unquote lessons learned to get a new understanding of your own definition of success, both on a personal and professional level?
Well, it really took me a really while to discover what success meant for me, because for the longest time I would look at successful people outside of myself and my own life.
Whoa,
and I viewed
comparing thing, you always lose on that one.
And I viewed that as the benchmark that I should be aspired to. And I kept on trying to attract that, which wasn't within my reach. It took a very long time for me to understand that this is not my own definition of success. This is not the shoes I should be filling. And what it did is basically it came down to this: knowing who you are, how my soul feel within, what lights me up, this disconnect of who we are, ego and society based on who we are, right? So what lights me up in the sense that disconnect from who we are, leave the ego behind, the society-based ideals and things like that, in finding who I am. Success is not what you attain, but more about who you are being. If we are not truly in touch with who we are, then what we think we want isn't really what we want. It's just a reaction to certain wounds and certain unmet needs. Success happens through us. Success is living a life based on the authenticity of one's soul and being true to that. The mind is limited, but the soul is infinite. The real purpose of life is to wake up to your true identity, and then to give that and share that with others, infuse that in the world, and to help evolve humanity forward. Basically, letting go of conditioning, the whole idea of life, to wake up and not forget the true purpose of life.
Okay. Wow. So what was it like then to step out of your own path?
It was scary.
Get out of your own way is not easy.
It was scary because I wasn't sure what that looked like and how successful I'm going to be. As human, we love certainty and control. Given I'm not much of a risk taker, really.
I can vouch for that.
Never was this like, I was never a risk taker to begin with. So this was quite scary for me, because that meant stepping out of my comfort zone and blindly taking unpaved path that does not have a process in place, and hope for it to work out and let it unfold, trusting what comes up that eventually will lead me to where I need to be. Definitely, and I still not a risk taker, but
I can vouch for that too.
Having to go down a path that is unpaved, because everything was conditioning, right? People have paved that path, the trend, the society, what success. This is all what other people created and influence. And then looking at that and saying, oh, okay, so that's not my path. That's not how I define success. Now I have to create my own and look at my own version and definition of success, which means I have to step out of my comfort zone and blindly, like I said, kind of take a path that doesn't have a process in place, nothing to follow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me to follow, and hope it's gonna, turn out really well. And just trust that path unfolding. It's huge. It's not easy to do.
Okay, so you you took a new path. On your way, you're looking to discover yourself, your gift, so to speak, we'll call it. So what is this gift you've discovered? What is your gift?
Well, I found that my gift is my profound ability to serve, compassion, empathy, and ease suffering for others.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. Yeah.
And being a storyteller.
That's
of
true.
Hope.
So what's it like to, or I guess what does it feel like to share, give your gift?
Honestly, a deep sense of joy inside. It's almost like this blissful feeling because it's so deep. It's hard sometimes to even put it into words because you just feel it right deep down there. It's profound sense of fulfillment and flow that is effortless.
Okay, so what about a bit of a background? How did you discover this gift, and is it a gift or a burden?
To be honest, it depends on the situation. How did I discover my gift was basically I find myself, I light up when I do something for someone else, whether that buying a gift or helping someone in a time of need, advice, being there for someone, cheering, whatever it is. It could be in a very simplistic ways, but over time it kind of add up. And when I accumulated them all together, these moments, I realized that my profound sense of is in service of others. And in that came into the coaching aspect because I felt that to help people live a good life, a well life, is to be a coach. And to be a coach is to guide these people into these areas of their life that lights them up and fill their cup. So that's how I discovered my gift. Whether it was a burden or a gift, to be honest, like I said, it depends on the situation. There are situations where I felt it's a gift, and there are times where it felt like a burden. Because to teach other people how to love their life in the midst of pain, to also teach that grace surrounds us no matter what, and knowing our true self, our inner being, and embracing our uniqueness and like who we are, it's not always easy.
Okay, so looking at your own now new self-designed model of success, what are your major challenges on around this journey of progress?
It's dealing with judgment and ridicule.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, then what do you rise up for?
I rise up for love, for compassion, kindness, because unclear is unkind, empathy for easing pain and suffering, because at the end of the day, scarcity, lack, limitation lead only to greed and misery.
Okay, so I guess what it comes to is levels of success that can be quite different for each person, or at least there's different versions of success out there in society. Anything you can add to that?
Yeah, sure. I'll do my best to share my own view of it, and this is how it looks like for me. So when you look at it, success 1.0, living under the aegis of some type of external authority figure. Success 2.0, embracing ambition and setting goals that allows you not only to have your needs met, but to also create extra capital. And success 3.0,
I just like it that you're doing 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0.
Yeah.
I understand it now. When you do it.
And you know what? There could be million other 0.0 for other people. And Success 3.0 is embracing introspect and awareness, finding your true purpose, creating a balanced, greater form of expression based on compassion. What we do as a corporation affects everyone, and byproduct is bliss, joy, and compassion. I am all for Success 3.0.
The byproduct being bliss,
joy, and compassion. Basically, you're living your life not comparing your success with others, because your journey, you have to look at it, we're all different. Our journey is different. Where we start and where we end up is very different for many different people out there. We can take my success, compare it to this person and that person, because they're not going to look the same. They also not going to have the same challenges. They don't have...
Well, we all measure success differently.
Very different. And we also don't take into consideration upbringing, root causes, self-sabotaging, the whole journey that gets us from point A to B. It looks very different for people. Is the ultimate goal is the same? Yes. Do we share some of the limitation and self-sabotaging behavior and scarcity? Yes. But how it look like for people, how it play out in life for them is also different. So sometimes we see people's success in social media and we see all the good stuff, but we don't see behind that the tears, the letdown, the rejection, the giving up, picking up again, the losses. We don't see all of that because not enough people speaking about that. Why? Because society says we gotta be positive. Toxic positivity is basically nothing but infusing social media with happy pictures, wonderful successes, aiming higher, driven result, and on and on and on. So we're not actually painting to people or even the new generation the right picture of to attain anything is about practice and training and rewiring, and they will be highs and lows, and there will be success and there will be failures.
It takes effort. It's not instant.
It's not instant. But our society wants instant gratification, and we don't want the delayed one. The delayed one requires us to work hard, put in the effort, be motivated, have determination, because and resiliency. Because about all of that is when we face setback, are we going to stay down, or are we going to get up and say, this time it didn't work, I'm going to try again? And if you really want it bad enough, you're going to keep trying again. And every time you try, you find a new way of doing it. Because doing the same thing over and over is madness, right? Because it hasn't got your result. It's the lessons that you draw out of those failed opportunities. So filling your cup is not going to be from the external. That finding joy is within you, is you being happy with what your life look like, and taking care of your well-being and state of mind. That's what's going to propel you. That's what's going to keep you moving forward. That's what's going to help you bounce back. That's what's going to make you a role model for others who struggles along the way. Being real, being authentic. So, my final thoughts, actually, if you want to live in peace and feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment, first you need to discover your purpose, what that is. Define your own version of success, not what society or other external sources place on you. Then you will find yourself stepping into your full potential. Drop the comparison, lean into your strength. In the end, success means different things for different people. Find what it means to you. All the best to you. You make the journey worthwhile. Until next time, back to you, Dan.
Well, thanks, Amal. And thank you all for joining us here at Distracted by Life. If you're interested to learn more, check out our other podcasts, of course, or hop online to Amal's website at amalcandido.com, where she talks about her coaching world, covering life, leadership, and mindfulness, including links to popular podcasts and her books as well. With that said, stay tuned for our next episode, and from Amal and myself, thanks again, and talk to you soon.